Dr. Elias hard slammed the airlock override. Alarms wailed through the outpost. A colossal winged shadow hurtled through the gale, crashing onto the pad with a screech of claws on metal. Ryan lashed in behind it. The creature, a dragon-like alien, scales glistening black, reared up, leathery wings folded tight against the storm-battered body. She clutched the smaller form to her chest. Blood dripped from the hatchling's maw, pooling on the deck. Hart stepped forward, hands raised. Easy. I'm a doctor. Let me help. The mother dragon's golden eyes locked on him. She snarled, voice a guttural rumble over the wind. Heal, or thee. She thrust the hatchling forward. The child tumbled across the pad, tiny wings limp, chest heaving in shallow gasps. Scales paled from deep indigo to sickly gray. Hart dropped to one knee. He scooped the hatchling into his arms. Light, fragile. Barely 20 kilos. He bolted for the inner door. The mother lunged after him, talons scraping sparks. Hart keyed the seal shut behind them. Safe from the storm. For now. Clinic lights flickered on as he laid the hatchling, cash she'd called it, on the exam table.
Blood bubbled from nostrils.
No, lungs flaring wrong. Had grabbed the handheld imager from the wall rack. Is swept it over the small body. The holo display bloomed. Airway collapsed.
Flute buildup crushing the bronchi. Xenobiology unknown, but physics didn't lie.
Epoxia setting in fast. Port Master Voss, Hart barked into his comm. Technique lock down. Clear the deck now. Power up life support pod 3. Full O2 scrubbers. Ben Seals. Lena Boss's voice crackled back, steady as ever. Hart, what the hell? Dragons. Lounge base lighting up with storm interference. Confirm out. Outh Delta no V. Unknown species. Pediatric trauma. Airway foul imminent. Move, Roger. Pod spinning up. Mid-base sealed. You've got 10 minutes before mains overload in this squall. Hart nodded to himself. Good woman, Voss. He turned back to Cash. The hatchling wheezed, claws twitching. No time for full scans. Improvis. He janked open the crash cart. Epinephrine analog, no alien physiology. Saline flush first. He primed the line, taped it to a four-limb bane. Clear fluid flowed. Stabilize volume. The outer door hissed. The mother saw it. Her gesture had named her burst through. Wings unfurled, blocking the corridor. She loomed, twice Hart's height, horn scraping the ceiling. Talons flecked. Hart met her gaze. Triga first. Your child needs me. Step back. Sorry's tailish. She hissed, words mangled by fangs but clear in intent. Swear. No harm. Clamban. Language barrier. Gestures universal. Hart pressed a fist to his chest. On my life. She eyed the drip line. Snorted steam. Wings lowered an inch. Hart exhaled. It tilted Cash's head back. Jaw thrust forward, reptilian, but standard airway. No response. Suction tubing cleared the bloody froth. Still gurgling. Imager pinget. Tracheal rings fracturing under pressure. Edema from trauma. Crash landing in storm winds. It needed a tube. Steripack ripped open. Is sized the endotracheal, smallest bore, lube applied. Hart visualized, glottis slid visible under scale flaps. Steady hand, slighting, cage convulsath. Tiny jabs snapped. Hart pinned gently. Easy little one. Sorry growled low. Wings twitched forward. Trust, Hart said. Working. Tube seated. Is secured with tape. Bag valve connected. Squeezed, rhythmically. Chest rose, fell. O2 shots climbing on the monitor. 45% to Suicester. Boss chimed in. Pod ready. Bringing it online. Storms peaking. Hull. Stress at 80%. Copy. Hart eyed Sorith. Help me move him. She hesitated. Then scooped Cash with surprising delicacy. Tube held steady in Hart's grip. They rushed the corridor. Wings brushed walls, but she folded them tight. Life support pod hummed in the annex. Boss had it prepped. Transparent canopy. Vents hissing. Hart slid Cash inside. Seals locked. Positive pressure engaged. Sats hit OTH %. Stable. For now. Sorry pressed the claw to the glass. Her rumble softened. Live hard white blood from his hands. Fighting. Long scaling. Rest now. She tilted her head. First, real look. No snarl. Golden eyes studied him. Human. Why? Hart shrugged. Doctor. Storm howled outside. Outpost lights dimmed under the load. Boss voice cut through. Hart, we've got company. Second contact ping. Multiple signatures inbound. Erklan? Hart glanced at Sorith. She straightened. wings half unfurling. Possessify return. Tell them to stand down, Hat said intercom. Patient stable, no threats. Sorith nodded once. She tapped her throat. Come implant? Alien tech. She barked orders in her tongue. Outside, wing beats faded. Hat leaned against the pod. Kesh's chest rose steady. First contact on New Year's Eve. Fireworks probably popping back on Earth. Here, a dragon child breathing because of a human hunch. Sorry's claw touched his shoulder. Light pressure. Gratitude in the grip. Your family now, she rumbled. Words clearer. Translator kicking in? Hart smiled faintly. Let's save the hatchling first. Alarms blatted anew. Boss Hart, incoming vessel docking. Armed, they want in. Sorry's wings snapped wide. Claws extended. Hart stepped between. Talk first. The air. The airlock cycle. Shadows loomed beyond. Kesh steered in the pod. Eyes flickered open, indigo slits fixing on Hart. A wheeze escaped the tube. Not pain. Trust. Hart slapped the pressure tense seals shut around Kesh. The hatchling's indigo eyes widened, but he held still. Transparent polymer walls hummed to life. Hart twisted the oxygen valve wide. Puri flow hissed in, pressurizing the chamber. No textbook for dragons. Hart scanned the med bay. Stock human musk too narrow for that muscle. Kesh's nostrils flared, sucking air in ragged pulls. 60 seconds.
He had to build the first life support mask now.
Snatched a pediatric face shield, surgical tubing, and a roll of medical tape. Scissors snipped the shield's edges into a flared oval. Hart coiled tubing around the rim, piercing holes for airtight fit. His hands moved on triage autopilot. Calm, no waste. Sorry loomed over the table, her golden eyes narrowed at the tools. Wings rustled, ready to snatch her young. Human fix? Her voice grated through the translator implant, rough from storm flight.
Hart nodded once. He fitted the improvised mask over Kesh's muzzle.
Tape sealed the gaps. 3 loops, pressure tested with a thumb press. No leaks. Oxyden fogged the interior. Kesh's wheeze softened. Perfect seal, Hart muttered. He checked his chrono. Thinka, 8 seconds. Boss' voice crackled over comm. Hart. Medbay pressure spiking. Storms overloading the grid. You got this alien kid stable? Working it, Hart replied. His steward to Sorry, palm down, steady hold. You. Hold him, gentle. Sorry hesitated. Klaus flexed.
But she curled one wing forward, pinning Kesh's shoulders light. The hatchling squirmed, then stilled under her warmth.
Trusting the grip, Hart counted aloud. 1, 2, dos. Pamis, Kesh rose, shallow, but even. 4, 5, 6. Better rhythm. Oxygen clawed back the cyanosis from those scales. Sorith's head tilted. Count breathes. Tracks lungs. Hart said, You're strong. His weak. We fix. Outside. Thunder cracked. Outpost lights flickered. Hart ignored it. Epre picked a microsyringe, thinnest gauge for fragile veins. Kesh's foreleg pulsed under scaled skin. Alien anatomy, but blood flowed somewhere. 1 prick. Darkichor wallet. Half microliter. Hat sealed the sample vial. Slotted it into the rapid analyzer. Screen beeped. Processing. Sorith free claw hovered near his wrist. Protective. Hurt. No pain. Quick. Hart watched the readout boot. pH skewed acid. Thought high. Oxygen saturation at 40%. Respiratory acidosis. Lungs drowning in their own exhaust. Kesh whimpered. Tiny claws scrubbed the table. Hart met those indigo eyes. No fear now. Curiosity. Boss caught in again. Hat sensors show wind beats inbound. Air clans circling the storm perimeter. Permission to launch interceptors. Hold fire. Hart snapped. Rescue up, not invasion. Sorryt rumbled low. She tapped her throat implant. Barked gutturals. Wind beats outside shifted. Circling, not diving. Analisa pinged. Results scrolled. Hypoxia confirmed. No toxins. Poor failure. Trauma crush. Storm crash. Hat eyed the sedative tray. Standard for thrashing patients. Butkesh cooperated. Sedation risk. Alien metabolism crash. No data. Restrained by cooperation, he decided. He stroked Kesh's snout through the tent glove port. Breathe with me. Out. Kesh mimicked. Chest sink to Hart's demo. Sorry exhaled steam. You teach him. Teamwork. Hart adjusted O2 mix. 20% boost. Blood gas projection. Stabilizing. Minutes ticked. Kesh's color warmed. Skiles flashed rose gold. Breaths per minute dropped from 60 to 30. Hart leaned back. Improv worked. First dragon on O2, courtesy of outpost scraps. Sorit's wing eased off Kesh. She studied Hart's tape mask. No fear, no conquer. Heal. Hart shrugged. Hell up vitals, heart rate steady. Plan inbound, boss locked, hangar base. Thunder rattled the hull. Kesh steered. Hart check seals. Solid, you fly through storm, Hart said to Sorith. For him, wing mother. Her eyes gleamed. Clan heel strong, boot gauge fading. Heard humans mend broken worlds. First contact law, Hart filed it. No time. Boss hard. Pressure 10 holding. Greed at 80%. Solid. He eyed gauge. Eyes half lidded. Trust sealed. Sorry touched the tent. Claw traced the tape. Human magic. Physics. Tape heart greened faint. Quiche code. A poor mask steamed rhythmic. Heart pulled scans. Lungs bilateral contusions. Fluid build-up pulmonary edema. Crash landing. Erect a drain line next. Thin catheter. Gravity fed to collection bag. No pump needed. Alien blood pressure. Higher worked. Sorith watched every move. Wings folded now. No snarl. Drain, bad air, Hart explained. Lungs clear.
She nodded.
Held Kesh paw. Mother cloud dwarfed hatchling. Boss pinged at private channel. Elias, Port Authority, screaming. Unknowns at gate. Armed signatures. Evac. No evac. Patient critical. Hart glanced at Sorith. Mother trusts. Clan will. Outside, wind screamed. Sensors blipped. Docking clamps engaging. No. Hard focused. Kesh's drain flowed amber. Lungs deflated easier. Gas panel rerun. O2 up to 75. Progress. Sorith rumbled a chant. Labai Kesh's tail flicked content. Hart monitored. Humble tools. Human hands. Aliens build chips that pierce storms. Humans patched the pilots. Alarms chirp greet dip. Hart bypassed power draw. Tent held. Boss Hart, visuals confirm. Winged figures landing. 10 plus. Her family? Sorry, straighten. Wings half unfurl. Possessive fire. Tell them. Stand down. Hart said into com. Pathian stable. No threats. Breath nodded. Tapped throat. Barked orders. Wing beats faded outside. Hart landed on the pod. Kesh's chest rose steady. First contact New Year's Eve. Fireworks on Earth. Hair, dragon breathing on human hunch. Sora's claw touched his shoulder. Light gratitude. Your family now, she rumbled. Translator clear. Hart smiled. Save hatchling first. Alarms anew. Voss, incoming vessel docking. Armed they want in. Sorith's wings snapped wide. Claws extended. Hart stepped between. Talk first. Scupple later. Airlock cycled. Shadows loomed. Kesh steered. Eyes flickered. Indigo slits on Hart. Wheeze through tube. Trust. Hart raised hands. Door irised open. A massive drake filled the frame. Scale armor gleamed. Riffle leveled. Behind, more wings. Sorry snarled. Challenge. Easy, Hart said. Voice level. Doctor, kit stable. The drake's eyes, golden like Sorith's, locked on the tent. Rifle dipped fraction. Who commands? Translator demanded. Hart pointed tent. Patient does. Silent stretch. Storm howled. Drake lowered weapon. Wing mother, Sorith, pushed forward. Embraced the newcomer. Urgent rumbles. Hart checked quiche. Steady. Boss whispered calm. Hart, you crazy? That's a war band. Family, Hart corrected. He gestured Drake closer. Sea lungs, help hold. Drake hesitated. Peered in. Kesh's eyes met his. Purr. Weapon slung. Drake gripped table edge. Steady as stone. Hart nodded. More entered. Field med bay. Wings folded respectful. Sorik barked status. Pride swelled Hart ran fresh panel. Edema draining. Prognosis viable. Drake clasp Hart's forearm. Crushing but controlled. Human saves Kaikin. Det eternal. Hart shrugged. Just medicine. Escoit louder. Mask fog cleared. First clear breath. Was all clear, Hart. Standing down security. Outside storm broke. Stars pierced clouds. Hart taped the fresh seal. Routine. Clan murmured awe. Human normal tape. Counts hunch. Extraordinary. Sorry lean close. Teach us. Lungs. Mask. Hart pulled stool. Watch. Improv next. Down edged hull.
First contact forged in oxygen flow, but sensors pinged.
New signature far orbit. Scout ship, not clan.
Hart tensed.
Kesh slept sound. Clan leader growled.
Rivals. Hart checked readouts.
Talk first, he repeated. Wings unfurled anew. Dr. Elias Hart peeled back the imaging gel from Kesh's scaled chest. The holographic scan flickered under his fingers. Their one air sac crushed, flat against the lung base, pneumothorax variant, alien style.
It grabbed the sterile kit from the wall locker and slapped it open on the medbay floor. Sarith loomed over the table.
Its wings twitched, talons scribed tile. She rumbled low, eyes locked on her hatchling. Hat ignored the storm rattling the outpost hull. Snapped on gloves, laid out scalpel, stent tube, seal and spray, improvised from human field kits, flexible polymer, self-anchoring. It had to fit unknown anatomy. No time for scans, Kesh wheezed. Chest heaved uneven. Oxygen sats dipped to 40%. Hart pointed to his own throat. Pressed 2 fingers there. Mide a slice. Then slid an invisible tube down amid Sarith gaze, raised eyebrows, nodded at Kesh. Permission? Sorry froze. Head crest flared.
She scanned his face.
The tools, the steady hands. A rumble built in her chest. No threat. Hart held still. No rush. Trias first. She extended one talon, sharp as a bayonet, placed it flat on the table edge. Basic is kid pledge. No strike. Trust the cut. Hart nodded once. Consent. First shared word, not hello. Surgery. Is swabbed Kesh's flank. Purple scales parted under antiseptic. Incision, 2 centimeters, precise. Air hissed out. Toxic pressure, released. Kesh's eye fluttered open. Tiny spark from nostrils. Stent next. Hart threaded the tube. Exhibly width expanded on contact. Locked into the sac wall. Sealant midsted over. Instant bond. Kesh spasmin. Body arched. Heat blooming. Scorching vents along ribs. Sparks danced. Monitors beep wild. Head lunged. Shielded the console with his body. Heat singed the sleeve. Janked a thermal blanket, draped it over gear. Easy kid. Flow now. Sorry gripped the table. Talons gouged wood. She hissed sharp. Hard check sats. Climbing. 60%. Sac rain flatting. Taped edges. Routine.
Stable.
Por Masterlina boss burst through the door. Blaster ulster but hand twitchy.
Hart.
Sensors picked up. Later, Hart waved her off. Eyes on Kesh. Hold the fort. Boss scanned the room. Sorry. The kit on floor, sparks fading. She keyed her comm. Security, stand by. Ducks mid-proc. Outside thunder crack. Wind howled against viewports. The outpost shuddered. Remote rock in void's edge. First contact, stormy as hell. Kesh coed. Weak, poor. Chest rose even.
First full breath. Sorry leaned in.
Snow brushed Hart's arm. Warm. Grateful rumble. Had pulled vitals. Edema down 10%. Prognosis viable. He glanced up. Your kid's tough. Translator chip buzz. Sarith's words filtered. Skyking lives. Cat's true. Hart shrugged. Packed the kit. Just medicine. Hull alarms pinged soft. Voss stiffened. Hart, rifle signatures outside. Warband inbound. Hart tape a fresh seal on Kesh. No pause. Family first. There hissed. Armed Drake filled frame. Scale scarred. Rifle dipped fraction. Who commands? Translator demanded. Hart pointed to the tent. Makeshift privacy drape over Kesh. Patient does. Silence stretched. A storm howled. Drake lowered weapon. Klaus retracted. Wing mother. Drake rumbled. Sorith pushed forward. Embraced the newcomer. Wings overlapped. Urgent rumbles passed. Hart checked Kesh. Steady. Stood Drake closer. See lungs. Drake hesitated. Beard under drape. Kesh's eyes met his. Tiny spark. Push. Weapons long. Drake gripped table edge. Steady as stone.
Hart nodded.
Collaboration. Adjusted flow regulator. Oxygen omet puri. More entered. Field made bay. Wings folded respectful. Sarith bark status. Crest high. Pride swelled in Hart's chest. Not his win. Team. Ran fresh panel. Edema draining fast. Sack full. Kesheshko strengthened. Mask fog cleared. Drake clan leader. By the scar's forearm. Crushing grip. Controlled. Safe skykin. Death. Eternal. Hard-flexed wrist. No flinch. Hust medicine. Boss whisper overcome. Hard you crazy? That's a full warband. Family. Hart corrected. Quite. Outside, storm broke. Stars pierced clouds. Down-edged how. Hart pulled a stool. Sarith hovered. Teach us. Lungs. Masks. Watch. Etemuet the sten swap. Improv climbs from outpost scrap. Dragons leaned in, talons steady. Questions rumbled, translated choppy. Clan leader nodded. Humans mend air. We ward skies. Balance. Hat smiled faint. Deal. Cash slept sound. Chest rose perfect. Sensors pinged sharp. New signature. Far orbit. Bus-tapped screen. Scout ship. Not clan profile. Arm. Hartens. Readouts scrawled. Hostilector. Rivals clan leader growled. Crest flare. Wings unfurled anew. Sky riders hunt weak. Sorry coiled protective snout over cash. Heart stood. Grabbed com. Boss. Launch prep. She urged brow. Diplomacy with dragons and hostiles. Medicine. Hard-eyed the clan. They hold here. We fly out. Drake rumbled ascent. Briefly ready. Sky keen safe. Humans lead. Heart checked. Quiche one last. Tap secure. Stay strong, kid. Outpost base clanged open. Shuttle thrummed. Storm remnants lashed. First contact forged in oxygen flow. Now tested in fire. Heart strapped in. Boss at controles. Clan watch from by doors. Wings spread salute. Sensors locked. Scott closed fast. Hail packet out. Neutral medevac. No reply. Weapons hot. Hard gripped armrest. Calm triage. Evasive if needed. But talk. Boss punch thrust. Stars blurred. Your funeral dock. Behind medbay secure. Sorry humped to cash. Clan stood guard. Orbit tightened. Scout veered. Lock on tone whined. Had keyed external. This is Outpost Epsilon. Human aid vessel. Stand down. Alien static crackled. Not clan tomb. Harsh bark. Translator struggled. Prey claims territory. Hearts leaned Mick. Hela claims nothing. Child lives. Yours or not. Pause. Scan beam sweep shuttle. Drake's voice patched from bay. Soreth relayed. Riders know. Buyer clan. Back off or burn. Weapons cooled. Scout peeled away. Vector shift retreat. Boss exile. Bluff worked. Hard checked link. Cash steady. Not bluff. Family. Down full now. Orbits cleared. Shuttle dock smooth. Back in medbay clan waited. Cash perk at hard step. Per loud. Sorry extended talon again. This time. Gentle tap on shoulder. Teach more. Alliance. Hard nodded. Pulled comes. Lungs first. 10. Yours. Clan murmured awe. Human normal. Tape. Beatles. Hunch. Extraordinary. Boss Loptos. Port clear.
Bad radar circle system wide. Hard shrug.
Improv next. One patient at a time. Cash sparked playful. Grab Heart's glove. Tiny claws held. Bond sealed. Not words. Action. Far sensors ping it again. Fleet signatures.
Raiders massing. Clan leader growled.
War comes. Heart prep kits. Medicine wins wars. Wings unfurled. Rifles charged. Shuttle fueled. First contact. Family in the storm. Ready. Cash's temperature readout flashed red. Elias hard yanked the external heaters offline. Plastic tubing warped under the hatchling scales, dripping molten beads onto the medbay deck. Hart grabbed insulated gloves. He peeled back the warp line. Steam hissed. Cash whimpered. Wings twitching in the pressure tent. Sorit loomed over the enclosure. Her eyes narrowed. Talons scrapped the floor.
Too cold now, Gila.
Hat shook his head. Fevers cooking her from inside. Heaters made it worse. It tapped the monitor. Core temp hit 48 degrees Celsius. Human limits shattered. Clan members shifted. Wings rustled. One growled low. Hart ignored them. He eyed the lab door across the bay. Boss patched in from control. Hart, radar signatures holding at system edge. No advance yet. Copy. Need coolant lines from the biofreezer. Retreat to the tent, stat. Hart pulled schematics on his wrist pad. Boss paused. That's experimental gear. Contam risk. Kids melting my tools. Move. Hart already crouched by the tent seals. Popped access panels. Footsteps echoed. Boss burst in with a toolkit. Clan parted for her. Efrasta spool of cryotubing. Lines prepped. Pumps yours. Hart nodded thanks. Snaked the flexible hose through bulkhead ports. Clamps clicked tight. Freezer compressor weird to life. Coolant surge. Frost dreamed the tent walls. Cash's purr steadied. Scales lost their glow. Hart watched the readout drop. 46. Stabilizing.
Sorry pressed her snout to the viewport.
You steal winter from machines. Hot seal the final clamp. Borrowed. Monitors air hard through temp swings now. The jury rig set up pulse data. Rhythm sync to thermal ebbs. Clan murmured. A wingtip brushed Hart's arm. Away in the gesture. Hart scanned Kesh's bloodwork next. Toxin marker spiked, unknown compounds ravaged her lungs. Rider sabotage? Storm ingestion? A kit comes. Vos, metal soles from chem stores. Iron copper zinc binders. Full kit. Coming clam block in the hull. Move 'em. Boss voice sharpened. Hart turned to Soreth. Salts for poison pull. A mimet mixing. She tilted her head. The tent. Talons flexed. Then she barked orders. Clan scattered. Bosses lit in trace moments later. Vials clinked. Hard measured powders. It crushed them in a sterile mortar. Added saline from reserves. Steered to a gritty slurry. Kesh's chest heaved. Lungs gurgled wet. Time thin. Hart prepped the ivy rig. Fine needle gleamed. He approached the tent port. Sorith Lungage just snapped the line midair. Shard flew. She spat it aside. No pierde. Kills. Hart held up hands. Empty. Calm. Armless. Cleans blood. He grabbed the spare needle, rolled up his sleeve. Clan hissed. Wings flared. Hart slid the needle into his own vein. Tape secured. Saline back hooked. He squeezed the drip. Clear fluid flowed. Lives. Sorry it froze. His snout inches from his arm. She sniffed. Touched the tape with a talon tip. Pulled back. Hart withdrew the line. Bandage slapped on. No flinch. For Kesh now. She nodded once. Stepped aside. Hart pierced Kesh's foreleg scale. Preciso. Minimal bleed, binder slurry flowed in. Tox levels began to fall. Kesh sighed. Eyes cleared. Pore deepened. Hart logged it all. Vitals streamed. Baseline heart rate 1080. HKPM at rest. Oxygen sat 90. 2% post-coolant. Toxin half-life 4 hours. Dragon physiology version 10. Priceless. Sorith watched the path. You mark her song. Her data saves others. Hart synced to outpost mainframe. Boss leaned in the door. Stable? For now. Hart eyed the external feed. Rather blips multiplied. Clan leader Sorith's mate rumbled. They circle. Beer blood calls. Hart packed kits. Lungs men first. Then we fly. Kesh gripped his glove again. Klaus Hentel. Bark of a static playful charge. Sorry, extended wing. Sheltered them both. Human teaches. Beer learns. Hart smiled faint, Brov held. But riders massed. Alars bladit, was span. Inbound. 3 corvettes, weapons hot. Hat hefted the portable tent rig. Evac to shuttle. Kesh moves with us. Sorith scooped the enclosure. Wings snapped wide. Clan formed up. Hart grabbed rifles from the rack. Loaded mags. Medicine first. Doors hissed open. Starn winds howled anew. Raiders dove. Hart fired first shot. Plasma cracked. 1 corvette bared. Sorith roared. Breathe fire in arc. Hulls blackened. Kesh peered through chaos. Family fought. Shuttle ramp dropped. Boss gunned engines. Hart strapped in. 10 secure beside him. Kesh's eyes locked on his. Raiders pursued. Missiles streaked. Boss banged hard. Tops away. Explosions lit the void. Path cleared. Sorith settled beside Hart. Talon on his knee. Dew chill death. Warm life. Hart checked vitals. Steady. We both do. Orbit broke. Jump drive spool. The clan chanted low. Umanberse joined. Fire sensors pinged. Rather fleet turned tail. 1 hatchling saved. Wars paused. Aliens forged in mid-bay frost. But Kesh's next scan blinked. New anomaly. Hot murmured faint. Hart leaned close. Round 2 starts now. Kesh sparked brighter. Ready. Shuttle streaked to Beer homeworld. Storm waited there too. Sorith's talon slammed the outpost console. A hologlyph map ignited, jagged peaks glowing red where predator swarms encircled her nest ravine. Dr. Elias Hart snapped upright from his med scanner calibration. Skalitz rasped as Sorith's wings twitched. Her golden eyes locked on him. Hatchlings fall. Predators tear. You fix. Had's gaze traced the map. Flashing icons marked 3 juveniles down. Tunnels collapsing under assault. Storm fronts pulls purple across the route. How bad? Breathing? Bleeding? Sorry hissed frustration. Claws etching urgent glyphs. Lungs crush. Blood fire hot. The storm hides path. She tapped Kesh's icon largest. A fragile spark fading fast. Hart nodded once. No time for scans or protocols. He janked open the gear locker. Portably medbag thumped onto the table. synth sutures, oxy masks, broad-spec antishocks, laser cautery, and his jury-rigged bioadapter for unknown physiologies. Portmaster Lina Boss burst through the hatch. Blaster holstered. Hat talk. That's a buyer matriarch demanding lift-off clearance. Storm's a no-fly zone. Hat zipped the bag, slinging straps over his shoulder. Nest under predator right. Hatchlings critical. I'm going now. Boss's eyes widened at the holobelief. You're riding a dragon into that? Solo, clinics here. Patients aren't. Hat hefted the bag. Track us through the soup. Sorry rumbled approval, harness clinking as she shifted. Boss punched her calm. Control boss, green light beacon drone, alpha priority. Lock transponders on beer lead. Drone whirred in from the bay, fist-sized or pulsing blue. Hart strapped it to Sorry's chest harness with Mac clamps. Lights your way, signals mine. It tested the link, his wristpad, pinged clean. Sorry crouched low. Gleam, healer, wings, weight. Hart belted onto her scaled back, legs locking into natural ridges behind her wing joints. Med back secured across his chest. Wind clawed through the open bay doors as Sorith lunged forward, wings cracked wide. They launched into the maelstrom. Lightning forked ahead, thunder punching Hart's ribs. Rain lashed like needles. Sorith banked, Hart left. Hart pointed right, hand slicing the air toward a gap in the cloud wall. He adjusted mid-beat, talons skimming a spire. Down 20, Hart yelled over the gale, palm chopping low. Electrostatic crackle raised his arm hairs. Sorry dove, wings cupping up drafts. Predator shrieks echoed faint below, drowned by storm roar. Hart's wristpad beeped, 5 clicks out. Ness signature strong. He patted her flank. Good line, hold steady. It twisted her neck, eye gleaming back. Human grip storm. Beer flies it. Another bolt split the sky yards off. Sorith rolled inverted, Hart clung flat. Bag pinged. They leveled, ravine yawning black below. Sorry spiraled in. Talon scraped stone as she landed amid tumbled boulders. Predators slavering pack hulks with scythe limbs, snarled from ledge shadows, held at bay by her glare. Hart slid off, bag unslung. Flashlight beam swept the raving floor. 3 juveniles huddled in a cracked shelter. 2 crushed under debris, scales split and bubbling. The third, smaller, Kesh, chest heaving shallow, wings pin limp. Treat-jet hit instant. The big 2 bled out fast, internal ruptures too deep without a full team. Kesh's eyes flickered, aware. Salvajeable. Hart dropped beside her. Sorry, clear this rock. It pointed at the slab crushing her flank. Sorry heaved it aside with a grunt, exposing mangled ribs. Kesh whimpered, tiny claws scrabbling. Hart sliced synth mesh from his bag, wrapping her torso to stabilize. Lungs first, hold steel kid, bio adapter amid. Prongs piercing scale, readouts spiked. Hyperoxygen demand, alien hemoglobin variant clotting wrong. Predators lunged closer. Sorry spat fire ack, scorching 2 back. Heal fast, Pax Mills blood. Hot ignored them. Injected broad spec coagulant, calibrated for beer heat signature from prior scans. Kesh's breaths steadied fractionally. Oxymask. He fitted the scaled down dome, pumping enriched mix. No human standard, his mix was 30% helium for density shift. Kesh's eyes widened, locking on his. A spark of trust amid pain. Sorry hovered, wings shielding rain. You choose one, others fade in. She stabilizes. We move the rest. Hart sealed the laceration with laser-precise bursts cauterizing without burn. Improp hell from his back-bonded scales, mimicking their natural regrowth.
Thunder boomed.
HFY now groaned. Next patient. Hart crawled over rubble. This one, mid-size, had a punctured lung sac visible through gash. Sorry, pressure here. He guided her talon to compress bleed side. She applied gentle force, amazement in her rumble. Mamdirek's claw, nose break, nose flow. Heart threaded microtube into the sac, siphoning fluid. Pumped antibiotic slurry. Vitals climbed edging green. Predator circled tighter. 5 now, eyes glowing hunger red. Sorith roared challenge, fire washing the rim. 2, Yulpit retreat. Hart tied off the tube. Second stable, a back prep. A boosted Kesh's enclosure from the bag, a portable tent rig with heat lamps and monitors. Strapped her in, lines connected. Kesh purred weak, nuzzling his glove. Her juvenile steered, spine twist but breathing. Hart splinted with flex rods. Sorry hip lifting debris, solo now. You're learning fast. By strength, human mend. She scooped the second juvenile gentle. Heart checked wrist pad. Bus being. Outpost secure. Storm peaking. Raiders scouting rims. Abort? No abort. He typed back. Predators mad boulder. Alpha beast charging down slope. Sorit blasted at mid-leap. Chart husp tumbled. Mount, we lift. Hart climbed. Tentric bungeed to his chest. Kesh's warmth pulsing against him. Second juvenile in Sorit's harness. Third clutch her flank. Wings beat thunder. They clawed skyward. Predators scattering. Below, lightning chased them. Hard pointed vectors, safe sheer line left. Soreth powered through, rain sluicing scales. Kesh's monitor beeped steady. Heart rate normalized. Heart adjusted drip. Round one clear. Sorry banged toward outpost beacon. You climb storm for fledglings. No bite asks that. Patience call. I answer. Heart scanned horizon. Distant Corvette silhouettes winked hot. Alarms would blare soon. Raiders inbound. Outpost lights pierced clouds ahead. Sorry to final approach. They landed hard in the bay. Boss waved text forward with gurneys. Beetles hard hopped down. Then secure. Stabilized. Looms holding full scan stat. Sorry. Set her load. Gentle. Golden eyes mid hearts. Dead deep. Elias Hill. Clan remembers. Kesha spark brighter inside the rig. Claw tapping glass toward him. Heart smile faint. Improv held. But boss spun. Inbound. 3 corvettes. Weapons hot. Heart hefted the tent rig. Back to shuttle. Kesh moves with you. Sorit scooped the enclosure from him. Wings snapping wide. Clan formed up behind. Juveniles guarded. Adults bristling. Heart grabbed rifles from the rack. Loaded mags with snap. Medicine first. Lead second. Darts hissed open. Storm winds howled anew.
Raiders dove from black. Heart fired first shot.
Plasma cracked. One corvette. Beard smoking. Sorry roared. Breathed fire in wide arc. Holes blackened, peeling. Cash purred through chaos. Eyes on Heart. Family fought as one. Shuttle ramp dropped. Boss gunned engines from the cockpit. Strap in. Heart secured beside Sarith. Then Trick hummed steady. Ertalon rested on his knee. Protective weight. Raiders pursued. Missiles streaked hot. Boss banged Heart. Torps away. Explosions lit the void. Path cleared. Orbit broke. Jump drives pulled low. Clan chanted rhythm. Heart's voice joined low verse. Far sensors pinged. Traitor fleet turned tail. One hatchling anchored them. War spoused. Alliance kindled in med-bay frost. But Kesh next scan blinked. New anomaly. Heart murmur faint. Heart leaned close to the dome. Round 2 starts now. Kesh sparked brighter. Ready. Shuttle streaked to Vire homeworld. Storm waited there too. Lightning dance on approach scopes. Hair prepped, fresh gear. Sorith, wing, draped his shoulder. Silent bow. Homeworld loomed. Crags calling more wounded. Predators linger. Raiders shadowed. Shuttle thrusters roared against jagged cracks. Heart braced as Boss slammed them down on bare rock. Ramp dropped. Wind lash rained sideways. Sorith leaped out first. Wings cutting the gale. A roar echoed over thunder. Summoning clan. Heart hauled medkits. Dust slung over shoulders. Third dragged on a skid. 3 high in hair, he said. Boys got through storm. Had dropped mackers. Glow sticks stabbed into fissures. Line formed instant hatchlings behind. Adults forward. Sorith landed beside him. Talons gouged stone. Wounded wait. Raiders drove them from nests. Air English clipped fierce. Wingtip nudged his arm. Trust earned in blood. Hands, Hot said, pointed at her. You're my hands. A steady grip. No fire, ne'er flammables. He unpacked sterile packs. Rhyme beaded on foil. Clan gathered. Dient adults, scales scarred. Juveniles whimpered behind. First patient staggered forward. Juvenile male, chest heaving, wing dragged, bone jutting wide through membrane. Art rasp, wet blockage. Hard knelt. Ignored mood-soaking knees. Pen-like flicked on. Meter angle from kit. Dental tool jury-rigged.
Open mouth wide.
Juvenile hissed but obeyed. Sorrid pin jaws gentle. Light pierced throat shadows. Debris gleamed. Rock shards. Blood clots. Tweezer's heart murmured. Extended arm. Sorrid passed them talon-tip precise. He fished out chunks. One by one. Suction tube next. Pulled slime. Juvenile coughed clear. Lungs whistled free. Clan murmured. Scales rippled awe. SEs inside one adult rumbled. No fire. No clow. Heart wiped blade. Wing next. Juvenile slump. Bony splintered mid-span. Shattered clean. Had-eyed tent poles from skid. Collapsibly alloy. Fabric strips tight weave. Sorit toric locum, passed lens, hard aligned bone snap of reduction, juvenile shrieked, heart immobilized fast, pole along fracture, straps cinched pyramid tight, no shift, wind stabilized.
Test lift, Hart said.
Sorit guided juvenile's good wing. Other rose slight no buckle, juvenile blinked tears, nuzzled Hart's glove. More Sorai growled, Hestered clan. Adults surged, three limp worst, gashes from raider blades, arterial sprays. Hart stood, rain-stung eyes, bleeders first. 3 steps. Egg grabbed Sorry's talon, pressed to first wound, thigh gash pulsing red. Step 1, pressure direct. Arm flat, cont, gin, breaths. She nodded. Applied force blood slowed. Step 2, Elibat. Above Hart, had lifted leg himself. Demonstrated sling from strap. Step 3, clamped if holds. Coiled wire, ratchet tight. Show what twist, lock, cust seal. Sorit released pressure. Blood welled less. She elevated. Lamped.
Clean hold.
Clan copied. Pairs formed. Talons mimicked human hands. Clumsy first, then sure. One adult stanched his own flank. Human way, Bean's life. Hard move down line. And the 5 more. Improvise suitors from fishing line. Antiseptic, spray over wounds. Kesh watch from shuttle ramp, bandaged wing tucked. Air per hummed approval. Thunder cracked closer. Shadows wheeled overhead. Predator scratch pierced gale, leathery wings, beak like scythe. The beast that hunted nests before. Drawn by blood scent, flam bristled, flames kindled throats. But Hart raised hand. Grab flare gun from kit. Loaded red star round. I meet height past beast into updraft. Streak ignited sky. Predator beard. Chase falls prey into clouds. Screech faded.
Sorry, exhaled smoke. U-turn hunter without kill.
Hart reloaded. Save strength. More gummy. His con cracks. Lightning lit silhouettes. Dozens wounded higher up. Raider shadows flickered distant scopes. Pressed close. Adults flanked him now. Juveniles gardet rare. Sorit's wing curved shield over his back. Nobody bleeds out. Words unspoken.
Rule sealed. A hard-shouldered final kit.
Pointed upslope. Lead. Sorit roared ascent. Clan surged as one. Hart matched stride. Human legs pumping. Alien wings half spread for balance. Brain hammered. But line held. Higher cracks loomed. First nest gaped. Cavern mouth. Body strewn. Brathered. Plasma scorched walls. A matriarch lay twisted. Eggs cracked beside. Hart dropped to knees. Triage anew. Breathe for hair. Sorry pumped chest. Rhythmic per his count. Aim to at the blind. Toop down scale throat. Back valve masked. Squeezed oxygen. Matriarch gasped. Eyes slit open. Fixed on Hart. Family, she risped. Talon gripped his wrist. Morin nests cold. Vosping calm. Riders vectoring. 10 minutes.
Hart nodded to scope.
Teach them ventilators. Packed portables. Sorit distributed. Clan learned fast. Klaus gentle on valves. Predator flock circled back. Flares lit night twice more. Beasts scattered. One juvenile clutch Hart's leg. Scales fever hot. Lungs bubbling again. Debris relapse. It cleared it mid-stride. Mirror flashed, lightning bright. Sorry watched every move. You meant without magic. Practice, Hart said. Years of it. Clan chanted low. Rhythm built. Hart's boots synced to it. Human heart matched alien pulse. Nest cleared. 30 saved. Carried down in slings. Talons and arms links. Shuttle ramp waited. Boss revet. Load fast buds blared. Rather Corvette's crested ridge. Missiles hot-launched. Sorit wheeled. Fear earthed white, blackened lead ship. Hard fired, plasma rifle wing clipped. Crash, echoed. Clan loaded, wounded. Hart strapped, last juvenile. Cash beside him, wing brushing arm. Engine screen lift.
Raiders pursued. Storm swallowed them.
Boss band. Onward secure zone ahead. Boot scans show. Infection cluster. Nest plague. Hart checked Kish monitor. Hair murmur steadied, but clan vitals flickered. New threat brewed. Sorith leaned in. Talon on his shoulder. Team holes. You teach. We guard. Hart nodded. Packed fresh cultures. Nobody bleeds out. Nobody burns out. Plague loomed. Alliance tested. Kesh purred. Challenge. Round 3 ignited. Hart's boots hit the outpost ramp. Heun strapped Cash and scooped her into his arms. Her scales rasped warm against his sleeve. Shuttle engines whined down behind him. Sorry landed beside him, wings folding tight. Clan members spilled out, 30 strong, slings cradling the wounded. "Clinic's this way," Hart said, and nodded toward the dome-lit building. Storm winds howled, but the outpost force field hummed steady.
Kesh's chest bubbled faint. Relapse signs.
Adjusted her portable ventilator mask with one hand. Sorrid's talon clicked on his shoulder. "Lead, Mender, we follow." Boss waved from the airlock. "Hart," doors open. "I've cleared the bay neutral ground like you radioed." Hart pushed. Clinic lights snapped on. He laid Ketch on the central exam table. Monitors beeped to life. Clan clustered at the threshold, eyes glowing ambered in the sterile glow. Wadi posters, but no retreat. Portmaster Boss, Hart called. "Log this. First contact, active medical aid. Dragon's inbound plague vector possible." Logging now, Boss, tap her console. Relationship status? Hart glanced at Soreth. She watched him triage a fevered juvenile. "Mutual aid," he sighed. Sorry stepped forward. Erklos unclasped a pouch at her belt. She extended a scaled token, iridescent, etched with swirling ridges. "Hat Mender," she pressed it into his palm. "Under Adri law, you wear this. Protector bond. My clutch, your shield." Hart turned the token over, warm like living bone. He slipped it onto his wrist, beside his medic tag. "Oh, not accepted. Now, let's save them." Jesh whimpered. Hart checked her vitals. Lung saturated again. Plague onset. He grabbed a scope and swabbed her throat. Cultures grew fast on the analyzer slide. Bacterial, aborn. Human antibiotics might cross-react, but dosage blind. Need samples from all, he said to Sorith. "Blood, scales, breath." She nodded. Talons gestured. Clan line up. One by one, they extended wings. Hart drew fluids with steady hands. Improvised syringes from outpost stock. No flinch from the dragons. They mirrored his calm. Boss leaned in the doorway. "Riders trailed us to the ridgeline. Scattered in the storm, but scans show nests hit hard. Your clans?" Sorry growled low. "Ours." Plague follows rider's dust. Hart drafted on his tablet. Simple pictograms, lung icons, ventilator valves, dosage drips, blow-friendly diagrams. He printed copies, laminated sheets, handed one to Sorith. "Teach your healers. Ventilate early. Clear debris like this." Edemoran Kersh. Suction tube gentle. Sorry traced the sheet with a talon. "Distributed to the clan." Whispers arose, clicks and hisses. A matriarch mimicked the valve press on a portable unit. Air hissed clean. "Good," Hart said. "Practice on dummies first." Kesh's monitor spiked. Fever climbed. Hart mixed a broad-spectrum IV, human formula, halbe dose. He slid the needle under her scale plates. "Precise, no tremor." Her eyes fluttered open, locked on his. Sorith hovered. "Will she rise? She's fighting." Hart monitored the drip. Your fire scattered the raiders. "Meets fight the plague. Teamwork." Clan chanted soft. Rhythm pulsed through the clinic floor. Hart's pulse synced. He unpacked more portables, oxygen tanks, filters. Dragons hauled them out, wings brushing gear with care. Boss patched through comms. "Outpost Conceal online. First contact protocols. They want quarantine." "No," Hart said. "Blat. Leave us first. Log the token exchange, protector status, mutual aid overrides." Sent. Boss grinned. "You're rewriting the book, Doc." Hours blurred. Hart rotated shifts. Cleared lungs. Doze, fevers. One elder clutched his arm. Gratitude rumbled in her chest. Scales cooled under his touch. Kesh stabilized. Hart eased her mask. She purred weak, gripped his sleeve with tiny claws. Fabric tore slight, but held. "Not goodbye," he said. Scheduled the tablet. "Next checkup, dawn cycle. Back here, bring the charts." Sorith bowed neck low. Protector holds true. Clam filled out to assign base. Wings brushed his shoulder in passing. Trust sealed. Hart watched Kesh nestle into a sling. Her grip tightened on his cuff. First contact treaty, no ink needed. Plague cultures brewed on the counter. Rider signatures flickered on Voss's scopes. Round 3 waited. Hart rolled his sleeves. Packed fresh kits. Nobody burned out. Kesh's purr deepened. Alliance kindled. He stepped to the scopes. Storm cleared. Raider carpets ghosted the horizon. Sorith's clan perched on outpost spires. Sentinels. "Doc," Boss said. "Consul approved mutual aid. Lounge window open for supply runs." Hart nodded. ate the token on his wrist. Prep shuttles, coulters to nests, and arm the base. Sorith landed beside him.
Riders return. SKA calibrated, a rifle.
Handed her a pictogram addendum, weapon safeties, plasma loads. Talons flexed. We burn. You meant had checked Kesh's sling. Its claws still hooked his cuff. Pulled him close. Tiny tongue flicked his hand. Trust taste. Family now, he murmured. Not words. Action. Engines dribbed outside. Clan mounted up. Hart strapped in beside Kesh. Sorry flanked the shuttle, wings wide. Raiders crested. Missiles strict. Hot fired first. Clip severed a wing. Sorith fire-earthed hull. Melted shuttle banked hard. Boss whooped. Nests inbound. Kesh gripped tighter. Hart smiled. Competence met compassion. Plague lost. Raiders scattered. Alliance flew true. A scope pinged new. Deeper infection strain. Hart swabbed fresh. Cultures mutated. Round 4, he said. Ish per a challenge. Sorith leaned in. Together. Hart nodded. Drip set. Wings beat. Outpost faded behind. Family forged in storm and scale. Adjusted her mask. Steady hand. Heart. Dragons guarded the skies. Woman mended the fallen. First contact. Family bond.
Kesh's eyes gleamed.
Grip unyielding. Hart flew on. Clinic doors hissed shut behind the last clan member. Hart wiped his brow. Ish's monitor beep steady now. He logged the vitals. Blick contained. For this wave. Sorith lingered. Token binds us. Adri calls you kin. Hart pocketed the pictogram sheets. Extras for nests. Kin helps kin. Check up tomorrow, she nodded. Winds on 3rd. Lifted off into the dome-lit night. Boss clapped his shoulder. Mutual 8 logged. Consoles stuned. Human doc turns dragons to allies. Hart shrugged. Just triage. Kesh steered in her sling. Claw tugged his cuff again. Pulled him down. Nose nuzzled his palm. Scheduled it firm. Done check-up. No goodbye. Hook set. Treaty gripped tight. Hart prepped the next batch. Cultus hoomed. Raiders lurked. But family fought back. He strapped the token secure. Ready. Dawn broke. Shuttle prepped. Clan gathered. Ishode his shoulder. Weight light. Trust heavy. Alliance sword. Word count 10%, not included in output.